Let us learn about the higher order function in Dart programming language, and for that I have created one file higherorder.dart as well as added a main function. So let us see what is a higher order function first of all. And the higher order function basically is a function that takes a function as a parameter, and when a function returns a function, then we can call it as a higher order function. So we have two basic functions. One is to take a function as a parameter, and another one is to return a function. And if a function has both of these or either one of these, then we can call it as a higher order function. So let us go and create some of the example over here. First of all, let us go and create a function that takes a function as a parameter. So I'll create a void over here, and I'll just say sum the num over here. This function will basically take two parameters. One is of int a and int b. So we have a two. This is just a normal function. And now if I want to, or if you want to make it as a higher order function, then we have to take a parameter as a function. So for that, I'll just say a function over here, and I'll just call it as a add, right? Add num. So we have three parameter now. Now this function can be called as a higher order function because we have a function as a parameter. So if you control and click this particular function, it will take you to the abstract class, and it says that the base class for all of the function types. So this is a base class for all of the function type. So when you are creating that, we must have to make use of this keyword of function, which is an abstract class in the Dart. So now what we will do over here is, since we have a function as a parameter, so first of all we will just go and do something over here. So print, and let us do something over here, higher order function. So I'll just print out this one, and then we will call this add function over here, add num, and this num, let us pass in the two parameter for this function. So whatever we are getting over here, int a and the b. So now it may be a bit confusing over here. I'm taking a two variable of int a and b, and also a function type, and this function we are calling over here, and this function takes a two parameter a and b2, which is both of the int type. So now if I want to call this particular sum number function, so what I have to do is, let's say I will call this sum number function over here, and I need to pass a three parameter. So first let us pass a 10 and 20, 10 for the first one, right, or 20 for the first one, and second one let's pass a 30, and the function. So function we need to pass in over here, so we need to create a function over here. So to create a function, we'll create a lambda function over here. So the lambda expression, whatever you call it. If you have a background with the Java or the Kotlin, you may be much familiar with the lambda expression already. But let us create a function over here. Function, I'll call it, and let's say sum the num. Sorry, not the sum. Add the num, and also this will take two parameter over here. Let us call it as a and b again, and the return type we will just go and print out this one. So I can just go and call the print function over here, and I'll just print the a, right, plus the b. So basically we are just going to print out that one. Now I can just call this function add num. So since this is taking a function as a parameter, then we have to create a function, right? This is a function which is basically a lambda expression, and we have this add num, and this is taking two parameter over here, a and b, and it's just going to go and print out a plus b. If you have just a single line, you can just use the arrow function over here, or create a lambda over here, or else if you have a multiple, then you can just go and create a var c, which is of equals to a plus b, right, and then finally you can go and print out the object c over here. So this is also completely valid. And now if you go and run this one, you will get out the printout of a higher order function which is printing out from here. And this one is again calling this function add num, and then we have a 50 over here. So this is how the higher order function actually works. Just a basic simple example over here. It may be a bit confusing at the first time to understand what it's actually trying to do. But there are a lot of packages and other stuff in Dart and the Flutter that actually make use of a higher order function. If you want, what we can also do is we can just go over here and print out the, let's say a function or the lambda lambda, right? So I'll just print out over here, and then again just go and run this function, and you can see it's called for the higher order function, which goes and print out this one first, and then again call this particular add num, and this is over here, right? And this function is actually going to go and print out the lambda for us, and then going to print out the sum for us. So this is how it actually works. It can be it should not be a same name, it can be a different name. So if you want, then you can just call it as a num add or anything. So just copy this, and now you have to pass this one over here, and if you go and run, then that should work perfectly fine. So just flow over here, it will go over here first, and then it will go and call this. Now we will call the function over here, and whatever function that we have passed in over here, it will go and call that function, because we are passing a function over here. So now when we call that function over here, it will go over here and execute this one, and then print out our logic over there. Next, what we will do is we'll just go and create another function over that will return a function for us. So let's create a function over here, and this function, let's say sum, or we can just add the number, and then here we have a return type of a function over here. Here return type is void, but here the return type is a function, so we must return a function from here. So for that, we'll just create a function over here again, and then we will just call it as sum number, and then which is of equals. We'll just create a lambda again over here, and we'll take two number over here. Let's say int a, and again of int b over here, right? And then what we'll do is over here, this will just go and do something for us, return type over here, and I can just print out the sum of the a plus the b over here. If you want to add a multi-line over here, same as this, you can just go in, but let us add as just arrow function or the lambda expression over here, and then we will just return from here this sum number function. So now this is the return type. It has a function because we are creating a lambda expression or the arrow function over here, and then we are returning that particular function from here. So this is a return type of a function. And now how do we call that function over here is we need to go to our main, and we'll call that let's say var, and I'll just say print sum, and which is of equals to the function, because the return type of the add number. So this is a return type, so this is actually a function, so return type is a function. And then what we'll do is we can just go and print, sorry, not the print, let's use of the print sum that we have, and we need to pass in the arguments that we have. So we have a 2, so let's pass in the argument of the 40, right, comma, and the second one is of the 60. So that should print out for us the 100, right? So 40 plus 60. So you can just go and run again, and you'll see that the higher order function lambda, and it's 50, that 20 plus 30, and again the 100. So this is the simple way or the simple demonstration of higher order function, and it may be a very complex, and if you are actually using an actual program, and you may find a lot of the packages on the Flutter and the Dart, and it may have utilized this kind of the functionality. So when you see the code, you so that just read it and know that this is a higher level function, because it takes some function as a parameter as well as some function that is returning as a function. So I hope you enjoyed it and learned something over here. Let's meet up on the next one. Till then, have a great day.